In today's update on the Russia-Ukraine conflict, we bring you the latest developments from the front lines. Stay tuned to learn about significant defensive victories, leadership changes, and geopolitical maneuvers shaping the war. Ukrainian forces halted one of the largest Russian mechanized assaults since October 2023 in western Donetsk Oblast on July 24th. The attack involved 11 tanks, 45 armored combat vehicles, a Terminator armored fighting vehicle, 12 motorcycles, and about 200 personnel. Ukrainian forces, using aerial reconnaissance, artillery, drones, and minefields, destroyed or damaged 6 tanks, 7 armored combat vehicles, and all 12 motorcycles, causing the Russian forces to retreat. This significant defensive victory disrupted Russian attempts to seize Kostiantynivka and cut the Vuhledar-Kostiantynivka highway. The Russian military's decision to expend numerous armored vehicles on limited tactical objectives in Donetsk Oblast highlights poor longer-term operational foresight. Russia's reliance on refurbishing Soviet-era weapons and equipment to sustain its offensive tempo is evident. Reports indicate that Russia is moving hundreds of old armored vehicles, such as T-62 and T-55 tanks, to the front. However, parts shortages are leading to the cannibalization of more modern tanks, like the T-80. This strategy may sustain current operations, but will impose increasing costs and equipment constraints on Russian forces over time. Lieutenant General Sergey Kobylash has been appointed Deputy Commander of the Russian Aerospace Forces. Kobylash, previously commander of the VKS Long-Range Aviation, was issued an arrest warrant by the International Criminal Court in March 2024 for war crimes during Russian strike campaigns in Ukraine. Major General Sergey Kuvaldin has replaced Kobylash as commander of the VKS Long-Range Aviation. These leadership changes reflect ongoing adjustments within the Russian military command structure, possibly aiming to bolster strategic operations amid the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov claimed Russia's willingness to negotiate, while simultaneously portraying Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky as an illegitimate leader. Peskov suggested Ukraine's supposed legislative ban on negotiations, misrepresenting Zelensky's decree, which only stated negotiations with Russian President Vladimir Putin were impossible. These statements are part of Russia's information operations to undermine Zelensky's legitimacy and portray Ukraine as the obstacle to peace talks. Despite these claims, Ukraine has presented a clear plan for lasting peace based on international law and invited Russia to a second peace summit. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov attended the ASEAN summit in Laos on July 25th, holding bilateral meetings with East Timor, Indonesia, Cambodia, Brunei, Laos, and China. Lavrov and Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi emphasized their roles in defending Southeast Asia from interference by external forces. This move aims to deepen cooperation and dependence among ASEAN member states. Additionally, Russian and Chinese prosecutor generals signed a cooperation agreement to enhance judicial collaboration, indicating further consolidation of Russia-China ties amidst the ongoing conflict. The Ukrainian Security Service and National Police announced the neutralization of a group connected to the Russian Federal Security Service that was planning arson attacks on civilian targets in Ukraine, Poland, and the Baltic states. 19 individuals were detained who had been recruited by the FSB with promises of monetary rewards and were to film the attacks for propaganda purposes. This operation highlights ongoing hybrid warfare tactics employed by Russia to destabilize the region and discourage Western assistance to Ukraine. Russian State Duma Deputy Mikhail Matveyev proposed a bill to limit the political influence of minority and diaspora communities in Russia. The bill aims to amend the law on national cultural autonomies, restricting these organizations from interfering in government policy. This move follows Matveyev's recent anti-migrant sentiments, reflecting broader efforts by the Russian government to exert control over ethnic minorities and migrants. Additionally, the Russian Investigative Committee proposed creating a unified database for registering migrants and imposing stricter requirements, indicating an ongoing crackdown on diaspora groups and migration.